I'm going to be doing a bit of role playing today. I'm going to play the role of a car enthusiast who's always wanted to buy that dream car, a Ferrari. Now, imagine I've saved up a good corpus of around 2 or 3 crores. But look at the new car prices today. Even a 488 costs around 4 crores. So what does one do? Well, I've come here to Delhi, to Big Boys Toys. And with me are these fine ladies. So what's it like to buy a pre-owned Ferrari? Well, the first thing to remember is that these cars are highly strung thoroughbreds and they need proper looking after. So the first thing you do is check to see if these cars have been taken care of properly. In addition, you must do your due diligence. Get Ferrari's 190.9R check done. It's essential. It costs around 1.6 lakh, but it could save you easily 10 times that amount. And if you can, buy it from a trusted source, one you know is buying the right cars. Here's Jatin Ahuja of Big Boys Toys.
The policy which we have for procuring cars, 80% of the cars don't fall into our category or the criteria which we have laid down. We don't buy a SUV or a regular sedan which has done more than 20, 22, 23,000 kilometers. So we have a 101.51 checkpoint. Even if in case the bumper is changed in the car, we would not buy it.
But enough of the greasy stuff. Let's get cracking with the least outlandish car here, the California. The California's non-turbo engine felt the sleepiest at low speeds, and power only comes in past 5,000 RPM. But after that, it's pretty nice. Like all of Big Boys Toys cars, this one has done not too many kilometers. It's only 8,300 and it's in fabulous condition. The V8 is nice and crisp. The gearbox is quick. There are no real squeaks and rattles from the car. It feels fresh and new. But the fun factor you get from the other Ferraris, well, that's a bit less. Yes, this is the most popular Ferrari and it is the most affordable. But among these, I tend not to want to look at this one. It cost 1.75 crore, and for a little bit more, you'd get a much nicer Ferrari. So let's see what's next. Also, if you're looking for a California, remember to take a long, hard look at the roof mechanism, because once it goes kaput, it's extremely difficult to get it working perfectly again. Next up, Ferrari's 4-seater, its most practical car. Now I must admit, I didn't much care for the looks of this car, but up close it certainly is much nicer to look at. And the thing is, it's the only one here with a V12. Now this 2014 FF is a bit expensive. It costs 2.5 crores, but it's just done 10,000 kilometers and the 12-cylinder feels fresh, new, and absolutely in its prime. It's just sublime. I'm remembering driving this car from way back, and on this stretch here, just pulling it to 7,000 is just incredible. It really does feel like a car that's hardly done 5,000 or 6,000 kilometers, and honestly, it really is in mint condition. Of course, it is expensive, and there are a couple of things that tell you that this is a used car. There are a few noises coming from the back. There's a damper that's going squeak, squeak intermittently, and there are a few other things, but in general, this just drives like a fresh, new car. Wow. Whew. It even has 4 seats, and the ones at the back aren't all that bad. But if you're interested, remember to get the quality of the damper oil checked via the reservoir. But now for something very red and very noisy. And the 430 is also the most affordable car here. So the F430, an 11-year-old car and one that costs around 1.20 crore. the beans and yeah, you have the whole Ferrari experience. It's also a lot more analog than the other cars we've been driving today. You can feel it shift its weight, you can feel it putting the power down, you can feel all that through the steering. And yeah, probably a lot more feel, a lot more real feel in this steering than the other cars. But this car looks like it has an engine light on the dash. And if you are looking for a 430, also look for worn engine mounts, F1 transmission oil leaks, and an overheating E-diff. This, after all, was the first everyday Ferrari to come with an electronic rear differential. I've saved the best for last. Ladies and gentlemen, the 458. Now honestly, this car had me at hello. It just looks fantastic and it has all the right spec. And then there's the driving experience. Now this is a really good stuff. 458, a 2013 model. Again, 8,000 kilometers and it's fresh and crisp and just goes like a bat out of hell. This car has everything. It's got the crisp handling. It's a little go-kart. It's darty, it's grippy. It connects with you. The steering is fabulous. The brakes are great. And then that naturally aspirated engine, that 9,000 RPM. Just insane. Nowadays, a modern 488 comes with turbos, and you do get a lot of punch in the top, but you don't get this. You don't get 9,000 RPM. Woohoo! You're just getting harder and stronger and sharper, and well, that's just the essence of this car. Tremendous performance, go-kart like, almost single-seater like handling, an absolute joy. I'm totally in love. Those of you interested in a 458, however, remember to take a good hard look at the brakes and the transmission, both of which are known to have occasional problems. Ferrari even issue a recall to get rid of a rear fender adhesive, a glue, which, if not removed, could cause the entire car to catch fire. So we're back at the Big Boys Toyz showroom after a long hard day of driving and evaluation. These four here are probably the ultimate half-price heroes. Cars you can buy for half the money, which are probably almost as good as the new ones. So, all things considered, which one would I choose? Well, that's a big question. Let's look at it one by one. The California isn't too expensive, but it also isn't too much fun, so I'm going to get rid of that one. The FF, I thought I wouldn't like so much because it's big, heavy, has that four-wheel drive system, but the V12 is just sublime. It's what Ferrari does best, and of course, if you can ever get your hands on a Ferrari V12, grab it. But this isn't enough sports car for me, and since I'm going to choose, it's between these two. The F430, I never expected to enjoy so much. An 11-year-old car, but it has a tremendous engine. And because your head is out there in the open, you feel it's right inside the engine bay. Tremendous noise, fantastic acceleration, all that mid-engine handling, a really analog experience. But it's this one that will finally make the cut. The 458 is going to be a future classic. It has the perfect naturally aspirated V8 that revs to 9,000 RPM and gets your spine tingling. It has a go-kart-like demeanor when you attack corners, and that exactly is the essence of a Ferrari. This particular car is also in great condition. It is a bit expensive, and that would make me question my choice. But considering prices of this car are likely to rise after a decade or so, this would be the one.